I am befumbled. After what was, well, possibly the worst episode of The Bachelorette I've seen, at least in recent memory, and hey, let's not kid ourselves, I know I'm going to be back next week devouring every minute of the show like nothing happened, they drop this preview on us. And at least since I started really analyzing and breaking down previews and promos, they're pulling some new formations out of the playbook. That being said, I still think we can come back in the third quarter and make the proper adjustments to figure out what's going on for the rest of the season. This preview is like my dream. It's filled with gold and clues and contradictions to things that seemed so clear earlier. It's making my mind boil, and this will be a long video, but bear with me, I promise it will be worth it. I have final 4 predictions, final 3 predictions, and I'm pretty certain I can deduce all the eliminations and one-on-ones for the upcoming 2 episodes. So, okay, I'll get to the preview in a second, but I have one other thing to get out before we get to that. What the frick, Jed? You fricking had a fricking girlfriend the whole fricking time?
You fricking fricks! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Okay. That was an overreaction. Can the jury please strike that from their memory? Thank you. So a People article came out detailing that Jed, frontrunner Jed, had a girlfriend when he went on the show. Then the show started, and when Jed got his phone back, because the producers take it away during filming, apparently he ghosted her. What did I say, Jed? In my Meet Hannah's Men video, what did I say? Then there's my guy, Jed. Please don't be a douchebag. Please don't be a douchebag. Please don't be a douchebag. Please. So, okay. I'm going to cut the conversation short right here. I'm still waiting to hear Jed's response to this before diving into my take on the full tea, because, yeah, I'm interested to hear what he has to say. I'm going to file this topic in the developing news folder. Keep checking the channel and keep checking the recap videos, as that's the primary place I'll be dishing on Jed tea and any future takes I have on it. Alright, back to the preview. Now, if you haven't seen the preview dropped at the end of the last episode, maybe you fell asleep during the recap hour we got, I'll leave a link to the full uninterrupted preview in the description below. I highly recommend opening up another tab and watching it in full before we go in and break everything down. There's a lot, and this will be, again, a much longer video than usual. This preview is 3 minutes long, instead of our usual 30 to 40 seconds, and filled with tons of details. So, let's take a look.
It has been a wild ride today. My body on her body. Things have heated up, that's for sure. I need to cool myself down, man.
Tyler definitely getting another one-on-one. No surprise there. Now they've moved to someplace more tropical, and I'm thinking this could be Greece. I'll detail why I think Greece is a locale they go to in a minute. At the beginning of the season, we saw Hannah and Tyler on a one-on-one, and I almost always think this is an early tropical one-on-one, because usually the first place outside of the mansion that the cast goes is someplace tropical, usually a Caribbean or Mexican location, in order to get as many contestants in bathing suits as possible. But now, we can speculate. Alright, I'm actually interrupting right here from the editing desk because I saw something a little strange when I started to edit the video at this point. I noticed the background here is different than a Greek locale, and Tyler's shorts are a light blue as opposed to a red here. In a minute, I'm going to be speculating how this massage scene with the red shorts is from a Final 3 date. This sudden occurrence of a very tropical location with different footage of Hannah in a purple bikini scene here makes me wonder if actually this shot is from a Final 2 location. Again, ahead in the video, I'm going to be speculating that Tyler is confirmed Final 3. I think this is really strong evidence that Tyler, in this date, is actually at the Final 2. Alright, heading back to the regular video. But now, we can speculate it's the opposite. This is a Final 3 date. And I'm making this deduction on a simple process of elimination. So next week we know is in Latvia, and Garrett will be getting a one-on-one. The bungee jumping clip from past previews shows Latvian writing on the back of this bungee instructor's jacket, which makes me believe this shot, Luke yelling at Garrett, won't be next week either. I've explained quite a while back in my season preview breakdown that this shot is likely from a 3-on-1 due to the number of roses on the table. A 2-on-1 would never have 2 roses, and a group date would only have 1. Now, of course, this 3-on-1 could be in Greece, but I have never seen a Greek building like this before. And we know that on top of being in Latvia, which is next episode, the men are headed to the Netherlands as well.
Holy ham, I'm in Amsterdam.
Not only that, but we can assume that Tyler has a one-on-one that week as well because of this shot of him and Hannah snuggling up in front of the Hague. So that's 2 more weeks of episodes. Latvia, then the Netherlands, and only 9 guys left. If you figure that 3 men will be eliminated next episode and 2 the following, or vice versa, that's 4 men left, and we're already in hometowns. And I'm pretty sure Tyler isn't from Greece, so yeah, not a hometown date. That leaves only one possible outcome. This date is after hometowns, either during a Final 3 Fantasy Suite date or during a Final 2 date, meaning I'm confirming, even though it's not really a surprise, that Tyler is in the Final 3. Okay, Fantake, slow your roll. We're only 10 seconds into this preview. Let's move on.
I'm loving this.
Okay, pause. So this also seems like Greece, and this looks a lot like Peter. But there is some room for different interpretations. It could be something from the next couple of dates. It could be somewhere in California, which is where Peter is from, possibly meaning hometown. But if you forced me to pick, I'd say likely Greece. Either way, I think it's safe to assume Peter is at least in the top 4, with a strong likelihood of top 3 as well.
Love is definitely in the air, and we're right there on the same page.
Pausing here to point out Hannah's white shirt under the pink jacket. People were wondering earlier if Mike was the one who prompted the "Jesus still loves me" comment from Hannah because the pink jacket is in both shots. I used this white shirt as evidence that it likely wasn't Mike. Hannah wears a black shirt underneath in that shot. We now can confirm it wasn't Mike based on, well, them showing us exactly who it is later on in this preview. Oh, and yeah, looks like Mike has a one-on-one at some point again.
I felt that spark and that connection. I knew I was falling in love.
We burnt it down with our fire.
Expect a Peter one-on-one soon. I'd say he's a strong contender for a one-on-one next week with Garrett, considering he hasn't got one yet and he's a strong top 4 pick at minimum. It's about time for him. Connor getting in there too. I'm thinking he falls out somewhere soon. He's just not getting the screen time and attention the others are. Now, he could still be in Paradise, by the way. Just because they made cast announcements doesn't mean there won't be more people. They obviously can't say Connor is going to be in Paradise while he's still on the show. Same with all the other men still on.
I want to be physical with him, but I don't want to just have sex. I want to love you in every way.
Okay, so here's where I'm starting to really... The producers are getting me. They are. So yes, Peter one-on-one and Mike one-on-one again. Then there's this shot of Jed, which seems Greek. If so, it would mean Jed, Peter, and Tyler were the final 3. But there's a shot ahead where someone else is in Greece other than the 3 of them. So my mind is all goop right now. The way things are flip-flopping around, it could either be Peter or Jed in the final 3. And with the latest tea about Jed, maybe I'm just being hopeful he goes during hometowns.
Do you want to kiss me?
Yes.
I'm completely madly in love with her, and I can't wait to have sex with her when we're married.
So I'm going to pause here. Take a look at the background. This is undeniably Greece. It is. And check out this next part before we get into everything.
And hopefully, I'm gonna get down. And the fantasy suite.
Fantasy suites. Hannah talking about fantasy suites, and the background setting lines up with the theory that fantasy suites will be in Greece. Not only that, but this very Greek shot very much has Luke in it. So that leaves 4 guys possibly in Greece. Tyler, I'm going to confirm. Luke, I'm also going to confirm. There's room for speculation on Peter and Jed, so that's what's keeping me intrigued. I can neither prove nor disprove either of them for Final 3. Also, Luke talking about getting down with Hannah Brown. Heavy setup for what happens later in the preview.
Hannah went bungee jumping naked with Garrett. That's like a slap in the face.
The bungee jump date will be next week. We talked about that earlier, and it looks like the beginning of Luke's anger over Hannah being with other guys. I'll say this now. Luke, you signed up for the Bachelorette. This is what happens. You don't get to be angry over this when it's something you signed up for and ended up doing.
I don't even want to talk to you guys right now. I have a lot to think about between me and Hannah.
Where I'm from, we call that.
They've shown this hotel hallway drama before, and I'm guessing this is the root cause. Luke being mad, likely at Garrett, both for the bungee date and what Garrett said about Luke to Hannah last rose ceremony.
I want to make sure that she's not sleeping around. I don't think she would ever do that, but yeah, I gotta make sure.
Luke again talking about Hannah's sex life. Very Greek background, and of course, Fantasy Suites would be the prime time to talk about something like this. Worrying about Hannah spending the night with the other men.
I just don't fully understand how you can be as amazing as you are and even consider someone like him.
Jed bringing up what likely has to be Luke. Again, kinda looks Greek in the background, but there's no way to confirm.
I was so freaking nervous. I don't know if I can see it just yet.
Also, this shot of Hannah crying, and it cuts to Luke, is a fake out. We can see Hannah's hair here, which is down, and then here, it's pulled back. Not to mention, if we cross-reference Luke's jacket from this shot with the shot here earlier, yep, that's Hannah with her hair down. So, I'm inclined to believe that this shot of Hannah crying is her dumping someone that isn't Luke, likely on a one-on-one. My gut is telling me she's dumping Mike here. We know he gets another one-on-one from this shot, and I'm pretty sure his one-on-one won't be next week. I'm thinking Garrett and Peter are next week, which would mean Mike gets a one-on-one in Amsterdam the episode before Hometowns. And if he's not going to Hometowns, simply put, the footage doesn't support it in my mind, and the final four is pretty much confirmed as Jed, Peter, Luke, and Tyler as far as I can see. Well, that means Mike likely won't get a rose on his one-on-one. So, Hannah will likely have to let him go, even though he's been great. Sounds like a perfect recipe for a really hard breakup at the end of a one-on-one, and this footage really aligns well with that. Again, it could be another guy she's dumping, but my gut is saying most likely Mike.
I don't care what you said to her. I've been nothing but truthful, and you are not gonna mess it up.
And this footage comes back. I've said my piece on this, and it hasn't changed. This really feels like a 3-on-1 due to there being 2 roses, and Hannah's not there with them. She's likely gone off with the third guy to chat while these two wait around. And I think this is where Garrett will go home. It won't be next week, as we know Garrett in all likelihood has a one-on-one next week. So, this will be the following week. My guess? The 2 roses will go to Luke and whoever the other guy is on the date, which, if it's Hometowns coming up, has to be Peter or Jed. And I'm pretty certain it's going to be Peter. Tyler will get that Hague one-on-one. Jed we've also seen on a Netherlands one-on-one in this shot from a previous preview.
Holy ham, I'm in Amsterdam.
Mike, as I've said before, likely also getting a one-on-one as things boil down to Hometowns. So that leaves Garrett, Luke, and Peter. Which also means that this upcoming episode, the 3 on the chopping block, who I'm pretty certain are going home, will be Dylan, Dustin, and Connor. Just a simple process of elimination, well, as long as you're obsessed with The Bachelor. And coming back to that Garrett, Luke, and Peter 3-on-1, if Hometowns is as I've predicted, that leaves Garrett as the odd man out there, and he'll be going home. Okay, though. Now it's time for, well, just take a look for yourself.
So let's talk about sex.
Okay.
And how the marriage bed should be kept pure. And let's say you have had sex with one or multiple of these guys.
Holy cow. It was him. It was him all along. Sometimes, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a frickin' duck.
I'd be wanting to go home.
You don't get to decide what I can and can't do because you don't own me. Oh my God, I cannot believe you just said that.
I can't believe they just showed that. So it's confirmed Luke P is the cause of Jesus Still Loves Me.
My husband would never say what you've said to me.
Hannah's got that tight grip on the door like, I'ma personally send your butt home, but I got some words to lay down before I do.
I have had sex.
And honestly,
Jesus still loves me.
I love watching this part. Luke's reaction, he's so mad. He's so mad.
the Lord made sex to be amazing. And guess what? A man does not control anything that I do.
Yes, Hannah flipping the bird is a mood. Oh, and we're not done yet. This is a freaking marathon of a preview. There's more.
This is going to change everything because he went out and got a ring. He demanded to see you. He is fully convinced that you are his wife, that you are the one. He has a ring.
Someone coming back with a ring. Again, this looks like Grease, and the evidence is starting to line up in a neat little pile. I'll let the preview finish out before I go further.
He is ready to propose to you.
I'm obviously struggling.
They show Garrett, Peter, and Mike, but these are all fake outs. Let's get back to the idea of this looking like it's in Grease. So, if the fantasy suites are in Greece, and the whole Luke and Hannah drama happens in Greece, it would make sense that she sends him packing in Greece. It would also then make sense that, while they were still in Greece after Luke gets dumped, Luke goes out, buys a ring, and then comes back trying to win Hannah over by saying he doesn't care anymore and wants to propose right then and there. It aligns with Luke's typical behavior of not taking no for an answer, as we saw last week, when Hannah tried to send him packing. This is also why I think they let the cat out of the bag about it being Luke who inspires the Jesus loves me moment. The producers often want to leave us on the hook with some dramatic moment near the end of the season. On The Bachelor, it was Colton's gate jump moment. This season, it appeared to be the Jesus loves me drama. But now, they have something even more dramatic to keep us hooked. The early proposal. So they satisfy our thirst for good tea by dishing out that it's Luke who causes the Jesus love me drama, and keep us more invested in the show as we see him make it further and further, and yet he's still there. We're all befumbled. Then he finally gets sent packing, only to come back one last time to try and Hail Mary a proposal. I think the evidence lines up pretty nicely to this theory. It could be someone else. It could even be a positive. Like, say, Tyler mentions he's not sure if he's ready for a proposal, and it upsets Hannah, and eventually he rushes back with a ring to prove he's actually ready now. There are many possibilities, but the most likely scenario is Luke. It matches up with his usual MO. And like I've said before, sometimes if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's Luke P. Wow. What a preview. This is what I love. They're changing the game and throwing me for a loop, and I'm so into it. Honestly, I can't think of a better preview. After possibly the worst episode of The Bachelorette, they gave me possibly the best preview I've seen, filled with details, new editing angles, surprises, and theories that aren't outright provable, with possible contradictions. Love this stuff. Keep it up, Bachelor producers. So that's it for this preview breakdown. Looks like we have quite a ride ahead of us, and I can't wait to break it all down with you week by week. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. I'll be seeing you all next episode. Bachelor Fantake, out.
Things have heated up, that's for sure. I need to cool myself down, man.